When you think Audi R8, you probably think all-wheel drive grip, everyday usability, and a kind of supercar for the daily grind. But this one is different. Yes, it's still got a naturally aspirated V10 engine. It wouldn't be an R8 without one of them. It looks like a supercar, but it doesn't have Quattro. So today, I'm simply going to tell you, you don't need all-wheel drive grip. Now, let's be honest, the Quattro R8 is fantastic. It really is. It's really fast, it's safe, and it's planted. But from my experience with that car, it's a bit too clinical. Whereas in this, everything just feels a bit looser, and that front end feels lighter, and it puts you on edge more, because when you push on, it gives you something to think about more. It's not just point and shoot. And of course, that noise. Oh my God. I'll tell you one thing, I've got this gearbox in manual mode at the minute. I don't like the paddles. They feel a bit cheap considering it's a high price tag car. And they're very small. It's my only problem with this car so far. That's not a problem though. Oh yes! And I'll be completely honest with you guys, normally when I review supercars, I can't really relate to them, simply because number one, I can't afford one, and number two, who am I to tell you that this £250,000 Ferrari or McLaren isn't worth it when I take one in a heartbeat? But it's different with an Audi R8. I'm sat here now thinking one day I could potentially own one, because I see the R8 as a kind of attainable supercar. Yes, you've got cheaper models, but this is the Gen 3, the latest one, the last one they ever made. You can pick this up for around £95,000. And I feel as if, don't get me wrong, £95,000 is a lot of money. But I feel as if you're a hard-working person, I just feel as if an R8 is a kind of supercar anyone could aspire to own. And because now you've got no front differential, it talks back to you a lot more than the Quattro version does. It feels lighter, and it's actually a lot more playful than you'd expect from an Audi. It feels like a supercar, but yet it still is a very usable supercar. But it's got that edge to it in which enthusiasts like me crave for. And the main reason why I'd buy this car is probably its engine. A 5.2 litre naturally aspirated V10. Now, all rear-wheel drive versions get the same horsepower at 533 horsepower and 540 Newton meters of torque. And if you want more horsepower in a rear-wheel drive Audi R8, then you buy the super rare R8 GT, but that thing is just in another price bracket. Anyway, this has a top speed of 199 miles per hour, and Audi say it will do a 0 to 60 time of 3.7 seconds. But let's find out. Okay, so before I launch this car, if you want to watch my review on the R8 V10 Plus Gen 2, click on the pop-up banner now, because the 0 to 60 time on that car is super impressive. And I don't really know what we're going to get today, because obviously this is rear-wheel drive. Conditions are mixed. It's 12 degrees outside, a tiny bit moist, and I'm only allowed to launch this car once. And we've got Cup 2 tyres on it. So yeah, on your screen now are the stats and figures on this car, so pause your screen if you would like to look into them. Now, to put this car on launch control, traction control has to be half off and the gearbox is in S. Right, we're good to go. Hopefully let's get a good time. Bog. But it's fast. 3.71 on the dot. Exactly what Audi says. And it bogged then as well, to be fair. So on a good, dry, hot day, that would have been a really good launch. Well, what a fantastic launch. Yes, I'm glad we got a good time, considering we can only launch it once. Anyway, that's what it stacks up against. And let's go back to the review. I quite like the fact Audi didn't go full GT3 with this car, which they did with the R8 GT. But the interior on this isn't overly complicated. It's actually quite simple, but that's what I like about it. You know, you've got no infotainment screen in terms of in the middle of the dash. It's all integrated into one screen, and that one screen is your driver's digital display, and you've got all your maps on there. Everything is in one. And these seats as well, they're not serious, they're really comfortable, so it's great for going on long journeys. And we're going to talk about the suspension as well. The suspension is very compliant. It's not overly firm. It's firm when you put it into a corner, because that's what you want it to be, because it's a supercar. But yet, just, you know, pottering about, it's great. It's not uncomfortable. And this is why everyone calls the R8 a great daily supercar, because it is. It's a great place to be. And we've also got to remember the R8 is dead now. No more mid-engine Audi supercars, which is a shame because the R8 was Audi's flagship car. I really do hope they bring back the R8 with the new power plant found in the Lamborghini Temerario. But I have heard the VW or VAG Group CEO has said the R8 is dead. Realistically, if you can afford to buy this, then you've got £100,000 to spend on a supercar. So, what other options do you have? Coming in at number one is a slightly higher mileage Porsche 911 991.2 Turbo S. And if you want to watch a very early version of myself reviewing one of them, click on the pop-up banner now. And the thing is with that Turbo S, it's faster than this, it's more daily usable, but yet it's less exotic. You've also got the McLaren 570S, which is lighter, sharper, looks way more exotic than this does. But you know what? I wouldn't buy a 570S. I don't know what it is. They don't really appeal to me. It's not as if I can't afford one. But I just think if I was going to buy a McLaren supercar, I'd probably save up to buy a good second-hand McLaren 720S, because I think a bargain in the supercar world is the 720S right now. And then you've also got the Mercedes AMG GTR, front engine German muscle car. I do like them. They're such a beautiful car, aren't they? Especially in that green paintwork. So you've got a load of options already, haven't you? So where does this stand out between a sea of very good competition? Well, for me, it's simple. It's engine. All those cars I just mentioned there are turbocharged, whereas with this, it's unfiltered, it's pure, no turbos, naturally aspirated. That's what you want. Just V10 doing its thing, man. V10 goodness. And in case you haven't heard already, which you already would have a listen again. Oh. I'll tell you what, out of all the cars I've ever driven, I've never experienced such a responsive gearbox in terms of what's in the R8. 7-speed dual clutch, bangs into gear and bangs down the downshifts as well. And the R8 has always seemed to be relatively reliable. I've never heard any horror stories about these R8s. It's basically a baby Lambo, because it essentially is. It uses the same drivetrain, revs to 8,700 RPM. What's there not to like? I see the R8 as a supercar to own without needing a backup fund. And if you think of it, £95,000 for a naturally aspirated V10 in 2025 is good value. Yes, you've got older Audis and older BMWs with V10 engines in, but they're super unreliable. But I just think there's no other car you can get with a modern V10 in it, is it? Other than the R8. Of course, yeah, you've got the Lamborghini, basically the same car anyway. So if you had the option to buy an Audi R8, would you go and buy this version, the rear wheel drive, or would you go and buy the Quattro? What would I do? I'd go and buy the rear wheel drive version. However, my only problem with the rear wheel drive version is the fact that you can't get the V10 Plus package. And with the V10 Plus package, you of course get more horsepower, about 610, I think, from my understanding. And that's quite a jump on this car. So yes, that's the only problem about buying the rear wheel drive, unless you can afford to buy the R8 GT, of course. But anyway, I'd like to say a massive thanks to Kieran for letting me review another one of his cars. Drop him a follow on Instagram. He does all the trading and Forex stuff. And yeah, give him a message and tell him thanks for letting me get behind the wheel of this car today. And if you enjoy this video, please leave a like. Please press subscribe onto the channel, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.